Hello and welcome to the Analyser. We've got the first Group 1 of the calendar year. It's the Black Caviar Lightning at Flemington, and Dave Strehlau joining me as always. Love this race. It's one of the great races on the Australian calendar.
Yeah, it's a tantalising contest this year as well, with a lot of three-year-olds looking to make the grade and race against the open-age horses too. So keen to see how that plays out. But the support program, one that we're both happy to get involved with.
Certainly, conditions on the day I don't think are going to have as much of a factor as what we've had to worry about probably in recent weeks. Rail true at Flemington, only light southerly wind.
Agreed. Those light southerlies are not a disadvantage to on-paces in the circle races, but they're light enough that they're not going to really belt horses from inside out in straight races as well. So they'll be able to pick their lanes in those straight races too. Still some favour to middle outside draws. That's the default position there. But when the rail is true at Flemington, there's actually an equal percentage of backmarkers that win races to on-paces, which is very different to other tracks. So that light southerly just might even things out a bit.
Spot on, as we get a market for the first race on the program with Ladbrokes, and it's the Talonbird Stakes for the two-year-olds. Almost a last chance to book your spot in the Blue Diamond, and Zambales is the one with the race experience, $2.30. Hard Kick's been well back for Lindsay Park, $4.60 to $4. Shah Jahan for the Mar Stable has been a little easy, out to $4.20. They're the key hopes. Let's have a look at the one that has been supported in early betting here, Dave, in Hard Kick. Settled in second position in a recent Werribee jump out, but was pretty strong to the line and looked quite professional.
He's 3 from 3 at the jump outs, and his jump outs prior to this were probably a little more visually pleasing. He's ridden to find the line here, but it's in fast time, so I don't mind the fact that he's been asked for an effort to tune up for his debut. He actually jumped out same morning at Werribee as Diameter, who was not bad from too far back behind Tornado Valley, Brazen DeChambeau on debut in a Maribyrnong plate, and his heat this morning, Hard Kick, was 2 seconds faster than Diameter. So, look, I think if he runs up to those jump outs, he can be in the finish. It's not a race that I had a great deal of confidence about. Diameter has the race experience. Shah Jahan jumped out quite well at Cranbourne, and Zambales beaten by one that was pretty poor in the Lonhro plate since. Looks short enough, but race experience does go a long way.
Yeah, I struggled with this race as well. I went with Zambales because I thought it was quite a nice performance on debut, but I couldn't take that price, as you said, given the subsequent performance of the horse that beat at home last time out, like the jump outs of Shah Jahan and Hard Kick there. But no bets for Dave or I in race 1, but we're pretty keen to bet into race 2 as we get a market thanks to Ladbrokes. And Fiornot, well, actually was well supported early. Went from about $4 into $3.20, but now is back on the drift with support for other runners. So he's at $3.60. Tacker Speed's been 7 into $5.50. Sunset's 9 into $7.50. Trapperlander $9.50 to $7.50, and Tarview has been quite easy, 9 to $12. We're going to have a look at the favourite here in Fiornot, who's been excellent winning his last 2 starts, admittedly in high-pressure races over 1,800, Dave, so it might be a different scenario for him on Saturday. But while Ambassadorial was unlucky given the circumstances, there still has to be a lot of merit to the performance of Fiornot.
Well, he gave those up on speed a head start, and although it was a fast-run race, those nearer the pace still performed quite well. And you've mentioned Ambassadorial, he's won since. Filio d'Argento won since. Frontline Action back in 5th has won since as well. So good form through the race. You mentioned the fact that was fast time, and prior to that at Flemington was also fast time. So he's at peak fitness now to rise to 2,000 metres. He loves Flemington's, but also he won a race earlier this preparation where he sprinted hard off a very slow tempo. So he's got some tactical versatility.
What about the one they've backed on the second line of betting to beat him here in Tacker Speed, who's, I think, gone to a new level this preparation and was able to do it from on speed last time out. Can you make a case for him to beat the favourite?
I can, because all of his wins so far this preparation have had merit, albeit in weaker races. He worked early straight to 15 at Mornington first up, and then a couple back he beat a horse by the name of Flag Flyer, who's gone and won since. And when the runner-up sort of looks like he's going to run past last start, he finds another gear. So I think another big track, 2,000 metres, Ethan Brown on. I'm not worried about this draw with Ethan Brown on. The horse has tactical versatility, and he'll
go forward.
Airborne. Yeah, he'll go forward. This looked on paper to me a 2-horse race. The market early has found Tacker Speed. I'm happy to have something on him as a result, and also Fiornot. My brother's keeper backs up 7 days. Look, Sunset's on the 3rd line of betting. Only won the 2 races, and I thought visually a little bit flattered by the pattern. staying towards the inside at Caulfield last start.
Yeah, completely agree. I think he's under the odds. I think he was flattered by that run last time out. I've got him in my numbers, as you do, but I've made him the best of the day, Fiora or not. I'm surprised we're getting 360. I thought off his recent form, that winning that strong race last time out, he deserves to be shorter. So I'm really keen on Fiora or not's chances there in race 2 at Flemington as we get a market with Ladbrokes for race number 3. Sassapeel in the desirable stakes with race fitness on her side has been well supported, 260 to 205. Ole Dancer, the Group 1 winner's gone the other way, 205 out to 240, and a little bit of support on the third line of betting for Custom, 6 into $5. So let's have a look at these two main protagonists here, Dave. Let's start with the class in the race in Ole Dancer. This was a recent jump out. And just for a little bit of context, you've got in front Supervise, who's a jump out star. He's a fast sort of benchmark sprinter. She's bulletproof back to the inside, and Rahija in the blue sleeves for Lindsay Park, who ran a terrific race first up.
Yeah, strong heat, and she worked very well, Ole Dancer. I think her jump outs leading into this first up assignment have been quite good. She went to the paddock with a new peak at 1,600 metres, so now she's got to do it first up to 14, which looks ideal placement. Her map in terms of the biggest danger in the race that the market says is the biggest danger being Sassapeel is negative, because she probably goes back to last, Ole Dancer, and Sassapeel leads. But if they happen to bunch up at the 600 and the horse with the best turn of foot wins the race, it would probably be her.
Yeah, so Sassapeel's a last start winner who's progressive. She's going through the grades. The market really likes her. She does look your likely leader. There's a lot of positives. They don't have to go back on Ole Dancer. I do concede, like you mentioned, I think she's likely to go back, but if I knew they were going forward on Ole Dancer and going to sit outside the lead, I'd be pretty happy to take 260.
Absolutely. This last start performance of Sassapeel was good. She pulls away late, but, you know, the other on-pacer that she beat was Eden Rose, who just isn't in the same ballpark as Ole Dancer, of course, was coming through a lot weaker races. But that map advantage is pretty significant, and without knowing what they do with Ole Dancer first up, I don't want to get involved. But I've lent the way of the class from Sassapeel, who, look, she is up in grade and looks priced short enough.
I think she's under the odds, yeah. But, yeah, you need to know that there's going to be some positivity about Ole Dancer. It's hard to bet. Take the 240, given Sassapeel's got a position in running advantage and a race fitness advantage. So without knowing the tactics at this stage, not a race that either of us will be betting into on Saturday. We'll head to a break here on the Analyser. On the other side, we've got some more races that we are keen to bet into. Welcome back to the Analyser. Time now to get a market thanks to Ladbrokes for race 4 at Flemington this Saturday. And this is the Vobis Gold Prelude, where Immortal Star, who's in flying form, is your 270 favourite. We need some support for Photograph, who's been 5 into 450. Perilous Fighter and Tango Jewel are there with Mystic Rain, 3 horses at $7 on the third line of betting. Let's have a look at the class to start with here, Dave, in Photograph, who has had one jump out. She went really nicely, I thought, in this recent jump out. And you look at her form last preparation, she reads strong for this class of race in comparison with some of her rivals.
Absolutely. Regarding that form, she was unlucky first up behind Stretton Angel in an Alingi, where she darted back to what proved to be not the exact right part of the track. And then subsequent form around Aviatrix and some stakes before mares. And her one go last preparation down the Flemington Straight, she should have finished a lot closer. She was held up. So I've got no issues with the straight. And have a look at this jump out. So she beats home Evaporate, Barrakill, Miss Aria, Cigar Flick. That's Don't Hope Do near the speed. And through the line, she's given a real strong push out. I thought that was a terrific heat. She's got the bigger weight in the race because she's the class mare, but I think she can overcome that weight discrepancy to some others. Yeah,
they're the negatives, aren't they? The weight and being first up, but I don't know if they are enough to justify her price being so big relative to her form. Let's have a look at a couple of the other key hopes in the race. In Immortal Star, who's flying since joining the Mars stable, and also Tango Jewel. You've got Perilous Fighter, who was back off the speed. Maybe can settle a bit closer this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tango Jewel is the one of interest for me through this race. Gets weight off Immortal Star and just might be more suited than Immortal Star dropping back to 1,100 metres. Tango Jewel was able to win first up over 1,100 metres at Geelong. Look, Immortal Star did work wide in this race, gets the winkers here. Logan Bates claims down the 2 kilos, and she's racing in good form. Her win, a couple back down the Flemington Straight, albeit wind assisted, was quite good. But I just thought, given the speed, the cruising speed Tango Jewel has with 51 kilos and that little weight swing on an Immortal Star dropping back in trip, she can go forward and give some cheek. So I'm happy to take on Immortal Star. I'm happy to make Photograph a nice result. And I'm also happy to make Tango Jewel a result on a 1x2 basis.
Couple of bets for Dave there, and I'm with you with Photograph. I think 450 is well over the odds. I know it's a lifetime ago for Immortal Star, and also for Photograph when they were both in different stables. They clashed one day at Moonee Valley, and now Immortal Star was first home. Photograph should have won. She was one of the best things beaten you've seen. She should have beaten her convincingly. So I think there's far too much of a discrepancy between these two, and I think Photograph's a good bet considering. So we're both keen to bet in the fourth as we get a market now for race number 5 on the program. And Ruta Royale's your well-supported favourite with Ladbrokes, 310 to 260, and Dollars at 440, Behaviour 750, Great Maximus an extra 2, the others in single figures with Ladbrokes. Let's have a look at Indola, and you're going to make a case for this guy who covered a bit of ground at Flemington last time out in a slowly run race and ran really well.
He was flushed in and out of cover, and this was the day at Flemington where in the circle you wanted to be up on speed, so Super Nemo was ridden positively despite a tactics change to go back, and that ended up winning him the race. He just got too far back with the blinkers first time and Dola, but his last 6.42 were fastest of the meeting. His last 400 was 21.30. It's absolutely low flying. I love him back to 1,200 metres. He was dynamic early in his preparation at 1,200 metres. They booked Luke Curry as well, replaced an apprentice with Luke Curry. He's won 5 races before in Dola, and 4 of them have been with Luke on board. And they'll probably bunch up here. I don't see a lot of speed. Ruta Royale controls things from the front, but doesn't cop much pressure. So if he's within striking distance, his jump out between runs was excellent in good company. I see him finishing over the top of them. Strong
case there made by Dave for the second favourite. Let's have a look at the favourite and the horse on the third line of betting in Behaviour. So Ruta Royale, look, Behaviour was a better performance this day. I don't think this was at all the scenario where Ruta Royale is suited. So you had Gallant Sun on speed, a few other speed horses south of India, Celsius Star, that many wasn't able to go forward and control a race, as he has done in his victory at Flemington and his excellent performance at Flemington this preparation a couple of runs back. So I thought he would lead and get control of this race. The question is, like you said, if they're bunched up, does that leave him vulnerable to a horse with a big turn of foot? But I do think he is significantly better suited than what he was last time out.
The drop in trip last start and being slow away, you put a line through that. He can win the race. We know he likes Flemington and 1,200 metres. But Indola's the best on the day for me. Supported from an early price. I've had $30 to win on him and made him a really strong result.
I like the confidence. I do not share it in this race. I didn't have a lot of confidence. It's not a betting race for me. I've gone Ruta Royale on top, just thinking he would relish getting back to Flemington off a forgivable run and control the race from the front. Behaviour, I thought if he just gets that right run, he's ready to win a race. And Dola's in the mix for the reasons you've outlined, and Great Maximus as well. Was good in Adelaide last time out, covering some ground. But we'll get a market now for the 6th race on the program. This is the Be Captivated Trophy. It's a 2,500 metre contest. St George is your favourite. At 290, he's eased slightly. Newfoundland's attracted some support, 7 into 6. Jenny's Meadows at 750 after finishing close up behind St George, a couple back. And Stylish Secret's been backed 11 into $7.50. So St George dominates the betting here, Dave. We're going to have a look at a replay here where he wins the race. There was an unsuccessful protest from the runner-up in Jenny's Meadow. Barclay Square came through this race. He's subsequently gone to Caulfield and run really well against the pattern there last week, and now he's on the back up. But St George dominates the betting. What do you make of the rise in distance for him?
Well, he did tackle a Melbourne Cup, but I don't know, he has had a bit of sharpness in his legs so far this preparation. So I'm not firmly against him rising in distance, and he's got some fitness on side. He's been up since the Seymour Cup prior to the Flemington Carnival. He had a tick-over jump out between runs. He beat Magnus Spin last start, who came through this, and won since. Look, Jenny's Meadow was closing in on him late. There was the protest that was dismissed. Since that, though, she meets him 2 kilos worse at the weights. I thought her chase was okay at Caulfield against the shape of the race when Magnus Spin walked them last time out. Not heaps between them. Barclay Square Paradise Storm, blinkers on after a fail last up was good first up. I can make a case for a lot of these, and I've got no confidence.
I do think he deserves to be favourite at St George, and the stable are adamant he wants ground, and I'm happy to back that stable in, but off his recent form, I just don't know if I want to take 290. They were making ground on him last time out, so he's on top for me. I think he's the rightful favourite, but I'd need a bigger price to be betting. Gee, Buckley Square was good last time out. I know he hasn't won at this trip, but he's got some terrific credentials at his best. So not a betting race, that one, but there are a few races remaining on the card that Dave and I are very keen to bet into. We'll have a look at them on the other side of this break. Welcome back to the Analyser. Time to get a market now with Ladbrokes for race 7 at Flemington, first leg of the quaddie. It's the Elms handicap over 1400. Now this is a qualifying race for the All-Star Mile, the first of 4 races that can win your spot into that Group 1 contest. And Sabaj, the exciting galloper, drawn gate 1, 370 to 340. Just a Deal's been well backed, 5 into 370. Match a Latte, 650 to 480. And then you think, with all these horses being backed, who's drifting? Well, it's Cafe Millennium. He's been very easy, $4.60 to $7, with Enzudo $9.50 to $11. So we have a look at a couple of replays, including one that features 2 of the leading chances in the race here, Dave, in Just a Deal and Cafe Millennium. So Just a Deal's in the orange colours, Cafe Millennium in the red with the white cap. Just a Deal beats home Cafe Millennium. I thought Cafe Millennium was the better performance of the 2 given the pattern on the day, but Just a Deal probably maps for a better run again.
You're right, his run was better than Just a Deal's because against the pattern of the day and the shape of the race, he had to give Just a Deal a head start. Regal Zeus was perfectly ridden to take those first up out of their comfort zone. The case I can make for the very well supported Just a Deal on Saturday to again run well and be in the finishes. It's the fastest race he's seen in his career by a long way, and they ramped it up from the 800. So to bring him on athletically, I think that'll do just as that. And he probably sits in the 1-1 again and gets a head start on a couple of dangers, Sabaj being one of those who can be back and buried.
Let's have a look at how Sabaj is going and then talk about the map for him. So when you have a look at this replay, don't stress too much. It will get more visible as they run along. But She-Light was in this jump out, but so was Sabaj as we let it roll and they get to the concluding stages. Sabaj was very good, I thought, in this jump out. He's a progressive galloper. Look, he might be the best horse to come out of this race, but barrier 1 is pretty scary to take a short price given the likely map.
His work through the line was outstanding in this jump out. He's 2 from 3 first up, but that barrier is just awful for him. I think at absolute best, he's 3 pairs back the fence because in this jump out, he flopped out the gates and he flops out the gates on race day. He's not a horse that can be ridden to take a position. So if he ends up 4 pairs back, well, he's got Cafe Millennium to his outside dictating and taking off early and getting a head start. So that's why I'll have something on Cafe Millennium at that drifting price. And I have backed Just a Deal too, who's been well supported because he gets a head start on both Cafe Millennium and Sabaj.
Yeah, I can see the case for all those 3 favourites, but or 3 of the 4 favourites, I should say. But I just think he's too big of a price here, Cafe Millennium, $7. I think it's a massive price. I thought it was massive there first up. His 1400-metre Flemington form is just outstanding. He beat a subsequent Group 1 winner at the track and distance last preparation in Transatlantic, and I know he's got weight, but he is a monster of a horse, so he should carry it okay. So with Cafe Millennium as a bet there ahead of the progressive Sabaj in race number 7. We'll get a market now for the 8th on the program. This is the feature, the Group 1 Black Caviar Lightning, and Tentaris is your easing favourite, 235 to 260. Giga Kicks eased out to 480. Barrackill's rock solid at 7. Bavark's rock solid at $7. And they've backed one at a price here in My Gladiola, 10 into $7.50. Couple of replays to look at here, Dave. Let's go to a Caulfield trial which features Giga Kick, the proven star of the race here, and My Gladiola, who might be the 1,000-metre horse. Both of these horses usually jump out well. I expected to see My Gladiola maybe jump out a little sharper than Giga Kick, and I think he went the better of the two relative to my expectations.
He did, and I reckon he jumped out sharper than what he did leading into last preparation.
Correct.
When he won first up at Caulfield over 1,100 metres, running meeting fastest close as well. So I reckon the residual fitness from his last campaign, he's not off as long a break, and a nice sharp jump out, only one. He's kept nice and fresh for this. And despite the fact, look at his form card, he might not be a 1,000-metre horse. Well, one day at Sydney, over 1,000 metres, he ran home 18 lengths inside benchmark, and I don't think any other horse has ever run home faster their last 600 metres. So if he's within striking distance, he's the value in the race. Everyone's saying Tentaurus is the best horse in the race. Well, Giga Kick won an Everest as a 3-year-old and was unlucky not to win another Everest. I think right now he's the best horse in the race and Tentaurus has to take over.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. He's the best performed galloper and Tentaurus might end up the best horse. He's still got to do it. Let's have a look at the Coolmore last preparation because it features Tentaurus, My Gladiola and Bayvark. Now, from this race, Tentaurus was brilliant, but he was third up, grand final day, 1,200 metres fast run. Bayvark's, his clear standout career peak came leading at a fast 1,400, so I'm querying him at 1,000.
Yeah.
And My Gladiola, of these horses, I thought might be the best suited first up at 1,000. She loves the straight and she's got a sharp turn of foot. She is a horse that can sprint well at 1,000. So, look, who knows how good Tentaurus can be. I just think he might be under the odds first up at 1,000 metres, given the way he's jumped out.
I agree. That was grand final day. He was third up. It was just the perfect scenario for him to do what he did. And the market has him virtually going to that number, again, first up 1,000 metres, which I can't see. So the value in the race is Giga Kick, and at the prices, there's too much of a discrepancy between Giga Kick and Tentaurus. I reckon it's a two-horse race. I know Barrakeel's a 1,000-metre horse, and he's won a Group 1 over 1,000 metres, but the other two just have massive turns of foot. I think they'll both be suited by the straight, and we have something on Giga Kick.
Okay, you're with Giga Kick. I'm going to have no bets in this race. I've lent the way of My Gladiola. I thought she was a 1,000-metre horse in the race, but the price has been taken care of. I'm just looking forward to watching this quality event. We're going to mark it now for the 9th race on the program. This is the CS Hayes Stakes. 60s dominates the betting from Asakura, who looks a progressive galloper, and west of Swindon. But let's see why 60s dominates this market, Dave. He returned in Sydney and looks like he might be going better than ever if this is what he's doing first up. I guess the concern for me on Saturday is I think he's clearly the best horse in the race, but the stable said it's not grand final day, and from the wide draw, we just want to get some cover.
They're giving him a look at Flemington ahead of the Australian Guineas, so they float back, get some cover. But although he did lead one day pattern favours over 1,400 metres at Rose Hill and beat Autumn Boy, they're not going to be sending him forward, but this is probably the most impressive run of his career. Fastest close of the day, and they rode him
for
cold.
sure.
So he's the best horse in the race from what we've seen so far. Something else needs to go to a whole new level if he's to repeat what he did last start. So I can see why he's that price in the market, but I don't want to get involved.
We're just going to watch the one replay for that race now, Dave. Is there a bet? Are you happy to bet into this one?
No, there isn't. I've got a bit of time for Asakura. The form around him keeps stacking up, and he's got a lot of upside, but 60's the hardest to beat, but nothing in the price given they'll be negative.
Yeah, same for me. Just because of the map where he's likely going to end up and it's not grand final day, I don't want to take $1.90, but on exposed form, it's the right price if he maybe had drawn a better gate. Asakura, like you, I think he's highly progressive. If he's to be beaten, looks the most likely one to do it. So we're going to mark it for the last on the program. Road to Arataki, very much a friend of the Analyser after last start. 420 to 310. Filia has gone the other way. 2 down Discreets at $6. Grid Girl $6.50. We go all the way. Keep an eye on the $34 chance down the bottom, Eternal Flame, who will feature in our discussion. We're going to look at one replay for this race as well, Dave. It features Road to Arataki, who wins the race, Samangu, who was okay, as well as Eternal Flame, who has been in the wilderness a little bit for a couple of preparations, but I think just showed a glimpse that maybe she could be getting back to something like her best, running the fastest last 200 of the race.
Yeah, it was nice work, wasn't it? Against the shape of the race and the pattern of the day. And if this was 2 years ago, she'd be probably second favourite to Road to Arataki. I think Road to Arataki deserves favouritism. I'm surprised she's drifted. Out even home well last start in a race that didn't really change much complexion, but She won this race second up last year and she led, and I don't see that much pressure on her. I think Grid Girl rolls across, but a few others people have going forward, Philly or whatever, off a long spell. I think she controls again.
Well, I think Grid Girl goes with her. It was Princess Q who was also in the race. Coming out is quite significant for the likes of Road to Arataki and Grid Girl.
Yep, so I've had $20 to win on Road to Arataki, $2 to win on Eternal Flame, and $5 to place Eternal Flame.
Look, I concede with that scratching is a massive one for Road to Arataki, and now the price is gone. I haven't had anything on her. I'm just going to back Eternal Flame in at that monster price. I'm going to have $3 to win, $12 a place. I just think if that's a sign that she's back to her best, that price is way over the odds. So I'm going to have something small, 1x4 on her. I think Road to Arataki, of those in the market, is the best winning chance. How are we playing it, Dave? Seems like plenty of bets for you on Black Caviar Lightning Day.
Another great day to get involved for your not. Tucker Speed, 2-bet play. Tango Dual Photograph, I'm keen to take on Immortal Star. And Dollar Best of the day, $30 to win in race 5. Just to deal the stablemate Cafe Millennium in the Elms. Giga Kick to beat the up-and-comer 10 Tyrus in the feature Black Caviar Lightning Stakes, and bringing it home with 2 bets in the last, an Informed Road to Arataki and Eternal Flame.
Like it there. Strong betting strategy there from Dave Strehlau for Black Caviar Lightning Day. I think Fiora, I'm surprised the price is as generous as what it is, and likewise Photograph. So they're my 2 best bets on the program. I think Cafe Millennium's terrific value at $7, given his record at the track and distance in the first up run, and something small at a big price on Eternal Flame each way. That's a look at Black Caviar Lightning Day at Flemington. We'll be back to do it again next week.